Testing microphone 1 2 1 2 1 2. Can anyone hear me? If you can hear me, kindly drop a comment in the comment section. Yo, okay. So I guess it is what it is. I'll just go ahead to continue the session because I don't want this to take so much time. So my name is Smog, and I'll be taking over this session called From Figma to Elementor. So basically what I'll be doing in this session is to convert. And I'm so sorry that you're not seeing my face. That's because there's no power, and I'm just trying to to make do with what I have, right? So so let's get into it. Share screen and share screen. Awesome. If you can see my screen, can you let me know? Somebody is online. Who is that person? Drop a comment in the comment section. Okay, so let's get to it. So so here's the design that will be converting into this design that will be converting. So I've designed this with Figma, and this design is for a program that will be having on Friday called Becoming a Front-End Developer with Grace or Molly or Lion Car. So here's the design that will be converting. Here's the design that will be converting. So so let me do a proper introduction. So my name is Smog. I'm a front-end developer who is passionate about making web development fun, easy, and understandable. And at the moment, I work at Fort Canvas, a branch-centric design agency where I build stuffs using Jamstack. I also write technical articles and create YouTube videos like this at WebBoss. And basically, WebBoss does the things that I'm passionate about, which is to make web development relatable, fun, and easy. And like I mentioned, this session will be focused on how you can convert a design in Figma to Elementor. So if you are from the early WordPress era, you know that we used to use themes and templates. And basically what you do is just to pick a template and just slap in content around it. And it was very difficult for you to achieve a website that is unique or brand-centric. Then over time, some guys had to start writing from scratch, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, and which was, to me, it was building with sorrow, pain, and blood. But then Elementor came around, and instead of just templates, Elementor gave us a unique page builder that actually allows you to couple things up, and that's what I'll be using in today's session. So before this session, so that I wouldn't take so much of our time, I've actually gone ahead to install WordPress, install Elementor, and also install Elementor Pro. And I've also done a few settings, but I'll still show you some of these things quickly before we get deeply into it. So here's the design. So becoming a front-end developer with Grace Omole Olanyika, you have this, meet the facilitator, about your host, register to attend. Then we have built with vibes and inshallah, of course. And then we have the mobile version. So two things you will take away from this session is how you can visualize a design that has been handed off to you, whether you are the one who did the design for development. So either you are building from scratch, or if you are even if you are using a page builder like Elementor. So how you can visualize design and actually translate them into codes. That's like one key takeaway from this session, because we also be working on mobile responsiveness, and I think there is a bit of complexity in some of these layouts. So yeah, I actually did this design. I like to give myself work. I don't know why. So I actually did this design. You can see that on mobile, for example, we have the name. There's no name on PC and all of those things. So those are the things that we'll be looking at. So let's get into the session properly. So we have pages, Come over to pages here. And by the way, I'm developing this live. So the URL is webboss.com.ng/frontend2021. So you can follow along as we're adding new features. I don't know why I decided to come what do you call it, wash my dirty linen in public. But then let's see how this goes. Yeah. Just a few minutes. Somebody's asking that when did it start? Just a few minutes ago. Just a few minutes ago. Okay, yeah. So this is what the website looks like at the moment. And by the time we are done with this session, this is what the website will look like. So let's get to it. So I'll come over to pages. Like I said, I've installed Elementor. So obviously you are seeing Elementor here. And instead of just clicking on edit, if you're a WordPress user, now you use edit with Elementor. So, and of course, there is the normal issue of Nigerian network. Yeah, which is like one major problem I face when building WordPress websites. If you are just on your PC with React or Gatsby, you don't need to worry about network. So Elementor is coming up, and basically what we have here is similar to what we have on the homepage. And I'm really sorry if you are dropping comments in the comment section. I'm not really able to I'm not really able to check everybody's comments because there is no power, so I'm not able to connect to a second screen. So I'm really sorry for that. But occasionally I will try and check the comment section and give responses to questions. So you can also ask questions along the way. So this is what Elementor looks like. And mind you, this is a pro version of Elementor. So if this is not a pro version of Elementor, some of the widgets that we have here will be grayed out. So just check out elementor.com for their pricing. So the first thing I like to do when I want to work on projects is to deal with basic things like typography, color, then some basic layout, basically the components that you'll be using throughout the website, which essentially is things like the heading title, something like this, buttons, probably images. You could set some settings for images also, links, and so on and so forth. So I'll start with typography. The official typeface for WebBoss is actually Red Art Display, and that's what we'll be using throughout this website because we are creating a brand-centric website. That's why we're not using a template in the first place, right? So I'll come over to the double arrow here, which is the menu icon, and click on Site Settings. Then I will come on Global Fonts. Then I will set the primary font. Basically, everything that is here, I'll set it to Red Art instead of Roboto. So Roboto is the default font that comes with Elementor. So an interesting thing about Elementor is Elementor automatically integrates Google Fonts. So basically, all the fonts that is on Google Fonts are actually available in Elementor. So they plug them into their API or something. Yeah, so let me do Red Art Display. So Red Art Display, secondary font also Red Art Display, text Red Art Display, Red Art Display. Okay, you can see the fonts changed just now. Then accents also Red Art Display. Cool. Then updates. All right. Then I'm not going back to the editor yet. I still want to make a few changes. Deal with is typography, right? So ideally, you have things like H1, H2, H3, and so on and so forth. So so first thing, one of the things I do when I'm working on a website like this is I go through the website, like do some form of mental audit of the website. For more complex, actually invest so much energy into probably putting pen to paper. So I just do like a mental breakdown of the various components. So apparently, I could classify this as H2, even though SEO wise, this should be H1. This should be an H1, but I'll make this an H2. Then I'll check the font size here, which is 64 pixels. Then H1, the font size is 190 pixels. 190 pixels also. So 190 pixels, then 64 pixels. That's our H1. and this guy is just hanging in between. So we could make it H3. And one crazy thing about when I develop website, especially with Elementor, is you most likely will not see the end result until like maybe I am like 70% done. So I just do all these settings first so that by the time I'm developing the real development, basically what I'm doing is just coupling all of these things that I've set down. So it will not make sense now, but just hang on, and I promise you that this session will be worth it. Yeah. So H1 is our H2 is 64 pixels. So I'll come over here and set the H2, the size to what? 64 pixels. Save that up. Then the font weight also, check the font weight. The font weight here is bold, and bold is 700, or you could, I think it's direct here. Let me just do bold. Yeah. That H1 is 190 pixels. So for the H1, actually, okay, so let's just do 190 pixels. I will revert to what I want to do so that I don't mumble up a lot of concepts. This looks very big, so I'll just do 100 pixels. Or let me just do 50 pixels for now, 60 pixels for now. And H2, I'll make this 58 pixels. Correct. Okay, then the H3, I'll come back to that later. I'll come back to that later. Then, okay, cool. So the next thing is the text color also. So H1, text color, the text color should be this. So if you click on this global icon, it basically shows the default colors. You can, like I mentioned, I've set the colors already before now. So I can simply click on primary, which is the blue. You can see it here. Then for the same thing for H2. Okay, so actually, let me see. H1. Okay. So we could do that. We could do that. H1, H2, primary also. Then the body text should be blue also. The body text color should be blue also, which is the primary color. Then then I would save all of this up. This body text is not changing yet. We'll adjust that. Yo guys, I'm really sorry the network is disconnecting. I think it's because there is no power, so my processor keeps acting funny. So let's continue. Yeah, so we have this guy. We have this guy now, becoming a front-end developer, blah, 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 register. Yeah, and yeah, okay, update. Let me update. Let me update. Changes have been updated. Cool. So one last thing I want to do is typography. This font size, so the body font size is actually supposed to be 24 pixels, right? This 24, this 24, this is 24. So I'll come over here and say body text, typography size is 24 pixels, which looks like a lot. Then I'll do 21 pixels. Okay, I think I'm cool with this. Awesome. Updates. Updates. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Oh my goodness. Shit. Share screen. Application window. Google Chrome. That. StreamYard. I wasn't sharing my screen. I didn't know that. So basically what I did was just to adjust the body size, typeface of the body. So February 19, 2020, becoming a front-end developer with Grace Omole Olayinka. Yeah, awesome. And we can move on to the next thing or the next set of things. Yeah. So I'll still come back to a few things, but we're just moving on. So the next thing is heading, which should not be here actually. The heading should be outside here. Then I'll click on navigator. Then this inner section, I'll click on heading. Then after it, I'll click on heading. Then drag this guy after this our inner section. Then this guy has the text in this section. And of course, it's not showing now. I'll change it to an H1 and I'll come over to typography here and just change text color temporarily to white. I'll change the text color temporarily to white. Then I'll come over here and give it a class name of outline text. Then update. So I will write a custom CSS that will enable you to have an outline on this text. And so the first thing I want to do is adjust the size of the text in itself. Okay. So I think I'm actually not doing this right the way I ought to. Here's what I'm going to do. I'll come over to heading. Yeah, cool. Change this guy to outline text. Basically the same thing, but I just didn't take the outline text. Outline text cool. Be from left to right. It's not constrained within this. So you can see like the text bounding box is it's on both edges, right? And so we have this guy now. Add your heading text here. Then I would say the content is in this section. In this section, cool. And I would remove this guy. I'll remove that guy. So let me just quickly show you what I want to do. Then have I given in the class outline text? So basically I will come here. Essentially I will come here to site settings. And I would say custom CSS. And I would say dot outline text. I would say WebKits. text stroke width. Let's try 2 pixels for now. 2 pixels for now. And I would say web kits text stroke color. Then for now, let me just use a very red color and say something like red and see what happens. Can you see what I'm saying? Can you see what I'm saying? So we have red, but apparently we don't want red. There will be 2 type of colors. There will be white and there will be blue. So here's what I can do. I can simply come over here and create a new class and say, so, and of course, they're all texts. They're all text center. So text align center. Then come over here, cut this guy out. I would say dot outline blue. I need to get the color code for that, and I would say dot outline white. This guy. I also need to copy the code for that. One last thing I want to do is adjust the font width. So instead of using pixels, I will actually be using the view. Fonts can actually be responsive. So I'll come over is, let's say, 10 viewport width. Important icon. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I will do it in the global settings. Let's just leave this for now. And this guy, let me get this guy, then the outline white should be FF 56. Good. Let me update this guy, then come out here to, then I will say H1 viewport width, then I will begin to adjust. Update. Let's give it a minute or a few seconds. This is kind of what you face when you live in Nigeria. And MTN is your only hope. Changes updated. So I will get out of this. And I'll change the background color of this section to blue. Then I will change this text. I would say outline text. I will add a comma here and simply say outline white. Let's see what happens. Outline white. Let me say classes, outline text, outline white. Is that the class I used? I should have copied the class name. Site settings, custom CSS, dot text width, stroke color, dot outline white. Let me try. Yellow. Okay, there's a problem somewhere. Box will always crop up, and let me do FFF, FFF, outline white. Copy, update, and let's get out of here. Let's see. Two. Cool. Outline white. Style. Okay, is this an H1? Okay, that's a mistake. First, it should be an H1, not an H2. Update. It should be an H1. That was a mistake I made. And let me come over here and check something. Inspect. Then I would inspect this guy. I would select this guy. Yeah, okay. So let me see. So I want to see the classes that have been applied to this guy. WebKit, heading. Okay, so apparently this style has not been applied. The new classes have not been applied, right? Advanced, outline text, outline white. You add your custom class. So let's refresh. Let's refresh this page. Let me refresh the output also. Good. Inspect. Let's check out this guy. Class heading title. So that's the only class it's having. Elementor size default. Okay. So apparently the H1. Oh, okay. Outline text. So here's what's happening. Even though we had selected an H1, the class is being applied to a div. So Elementor automatically creates a div and now puts the H1 in it. And the way we can simply overcome that is to come over here and say so these are H1. So we can simply come here and say Elementor.heading. So we can simply come over here and copy home site settings. So this is the problem with using page builders and all these things. These things. So I'll simply come over here and just say so I can't even say that. So let me do h1 dot outline text dot this guy dot dot Elementor. And so essentially just to target the H1, or I could simply just do H1. I could simply just do H1. I could simply just do H1. H1. Let's see. Is there any change? Or is there any difference? Let me check the structure again. Dot H1 dot Elementor dot heading. In fact, I could simply do H1 dot outline text. Then there is this is a div, then we have the H1 div 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 div. Oh, when I'm getting H1 should not be qualified. H1 has already been defined. WebKit, we're simply targeting the color, the outline white. I think I'm looking. I was looking for a way to boycott this, but I will simply just copy the class name the way it is. Say paste this guy dot Elementor and then h1 then dot Elementor widget container copy and paste, copy and paste. Awesome. And yeah, let's see. No changes yet. The changes have been updated, but I'm not seeing them being implemented. Which one? Let me see. So, okay. So this is some progress actually. So the text with color, let me try web kit text stroke. Let's do 2 pixels. Okay, yeah, it's working. 1 pixels. Yeah, so yeah, it's working. So what's wrong? Um, dot outline texts. Okay, so let me see. Dot outline text. Let me check the structure again. Is outline text a div here? Dot outline text. Class outline text, comma outline white. So I think in this case, I'll simply just do a arc. So since this is working, I'll simply just do WebKit text stroke width and do 2 pixels. Yeah. So I'll do 1 pixels. So in an ideal case scenario, I wouldn't actually do this. Then I would simply repeat it for the outline blue also. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. And yeah, then I'll remove this guy. So I'll simply do, so instead of outline blue, I'll now do outline texts blue, then outline texts white. Then save it up, update. I think we should gain some speed now. So click on this guy, then outline texts. Awesome. Awesome. Nice. And however, instead of leaving this guy here, what did I just do? So I would expand this guy, column, then bring this guy, then delete. Then come over here and say that the width of this guy is full width. Doesn't matter. Minimum height is 100 VH. Then update. Then I'll come over to my global settings to adjust the font size of our H1. Global settings. If you are still here on this session, I really appreciate you for sticking around. There were so many hiccups, and yeah, it is what it is. Life continues, you know. Typography, then H1, then okay, yeah. So the next 100, then I want to do a text align of center. No, not text decoration. There should be text align, right? Oh, okay. So I guess I'll have to do it with the custom CSS. Just do text align center. This is what I want. Copy. Sincerely hope I'm able to finish this up before my PC goes off. All right. So I think we should gain some speed now. Scroll down. Then yeah, we're getting there. Good. This looks good. This looks good. Awesome. And yeah, the next thing I want to do is add a spacer. Add a spacer between this guy. I could as well use a margin, but I think I kind of prefer a spacer. Spacer. This guy. 50 pixels. It came after it. It should be before it. 50 pixels. Then in this session, blah blah blah. Let's make it 800 pixels. Good. Becoming a front-end developer with Grace Omonia car. You scroll down, then it says in this session. The next, I want to add some padding to the bottom of this. So I'll come over to advanced here, padding, bottom, then I'll say something like 5M, 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 equal. Is that equal? Let's do 7. Let's do 7M. Cool. I think I like this. Yeah, cool. Then the last but not the least for this section, and I'm aware that we still have just a single button here, but I just want us to gain so much speed and be able to do something tangible before my PC goes off. So remove this column, delete. Remove this image, delete. Then bring in text editor. Then adjust the width of this to maximum of 788. So in that case, that means we should be looking at something like 600 actually from experience. And this guy, content is this. We're to be sharing the story of our journey to becoming a front-end developer and tips that can be graduated. Well, okay, so 600 was too small. Layouts 700. Okay, yeah, let's do 700. Let's do 700. How many lines do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. How many do we have here? 4. Style also change it to white. The color rather. So all this gibberish you are seeing is actually because of network. So please do not mind it. Style, color, white. Awesome. Then we have this section. Can I add an inner section here? No. Inner section inside an inner section. I know you won't be able to do that. I know you're not be able to do that. So let's just do this. So exactly the same thing. Maximum. So one other interesting thing about Elementor is you can copy and paste styles. Paste style. So this now has exactly the same width as this. And what I want to put here is basically an SVG icon. SVG. Let's say icon. Icon with text. No, not this. So basically, let me drop the info first. Friday, February, text is Friday, February 19, 2020. Okay, I took an each one. How did I do that? Why did I do that? It should be text editor. February 2020. Then time. So I can come over here and copy and paste this tag. A more effective way to do this would simply be to create a class and just apply it across board. So I'll duplicate this guy, drag and drop. Then come over here. We said, yeah, that there is no African time. Good. So let me see. Icons. Need. Let me see what this gives us. I need something that can that we have a text and an icon. So let me just all of these guys. The color should please be white. I just want to see something, and the text should please be the accent color. Okay, I think this will work for the purpose of what I want to do. So basically, what I will do is remove these guys, then come over here and click on Upload SVG, enable. Then this I've exported already. So insert media. Good. And I'm guessing I can. So I can adjust things like the width, the alignment, and all and all and all. So let me come over to style. Then alignment should be center. No, left center. No divider. The icon should, let me increase the icon size. Okay. We have something like that. This is actually similar to what I want, but we're not there yet. So I'll come over here and say when. In fact, we might just roll. Of course, there should be a way to simply align this inline layout, default, style, space between, divider, no dividers, text, icon. What I could do actually is just probably select this, then probably add margin top and all of those things, and things will get adjusted. But there's no time yet, and by the time the website goes live, we would have made that adjustment. So this guy comes here, then come over here. What, when, and time. Time. When and time. So think we have this guy now. Okay. This is similar, but we are not totally there yet. So what I can do is come over here, adjust this guy, do this minus, 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 minus. Okay, I can come over here, right click, copy, then paste here. Paste now. I think I copied the right thing. Copy, then paste star. Awesome. Cool. Nice, isn't it? And we're done with that section. But before we move on, I just want to talk a bit about mobile responsiveness. So if we come on mobile, what we have right now is actually not bad, but we can simply just adjust font sizes. But really what I'm concerned about is the space to the left and the right on mobile, which is about rectangle, which is about how many pixels do we have here? Which is about 40 pixels. So basically what I would do is just come in here and in fact, I will apply it at the top level here on desktop. It will also affect it on mobile and say, no, not margin, and simply say padding right is 1.5 EM and padding left is 1.5 EM. Or I could do two, and let's see what it looks like on mobile. That's a lot. I'll do one. Desktop, one, and one. And one way we can quickly work on responsiveness for this is just adjusting the font, the global font styles, right? So if I come over here to site settings, and I say typography, then I say H2, I can come and check the font size for H2, which is 30 pixels, and it's still bold. So H2, I could simply do 30 pixels, and some of them might look better. There are some adjustments still to be made here, and the body text in itself should be what? 14 pixels. Is that what we have across board? This is 13 pixels. That's 14 pixels. So that one must have been a mistake. 14 pixels. That's what the body text should be. That's what the body text should be. And yeah, there's one more thing we need to do. Global fonts. Then we need to, okay, yeah, I think primary text, yeah. The font size should be 14 pixels. Okay, update. Yeah, so this doesn't look perfect yet, but it actually looks, at least it doesn't look as jagged like it looked before. So come over here. So let me just finish up the PC version. I'm losing so much power now, so I'll just see I'll try to complete as much as I can. And when I get power, I most likely will finish up probably on this same live stream. Okay, so meet the facilitator. So this is kind of straight to the point. Heading, change it to H1 and say meet the facilitator. And this guy, of course, would be outline text blue. Outline text blue. Then, of course, it's not so obvious yet because the text color in itself. So if I change this to white, so we have this guy now. It's the facilitator. Okay, so we may actually need to adjust the font size. This guy seems to be overflowing here, but that's the list of our headache right now. So what we need right now is this guy. I'm going to copy this guy. I'm going to paste it here. Paste. No, I'm not supposed to. I wasn't supposed. I'm going to paste it in here. I could actually as well go paste it in here. Okay, cool. So we want something similar to that actually. Go ahead and remove this style. So just delete this guy. Delete this guy. The shadow on this guy's presets. Go. Then remove this guy also. Delete. Then I would bring in a new text editor, a new text widgets, whatever you may call it, and then simply copy this guy, which is the text. Okay. This looks like a lot at the moment, but the font size is actually not correct. The font size of this is actually smaller than every other thing. That's because it's a lot of information. Then let me do 21 pixels. That's what we have currently. Then I'll do 18 pixels. 18 even seems a lot also. Let me do 16. Let me do 17 pixels. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, so I actually need to go back to 18 pixels, but I think this works for now. Mother Grace Olayinka is a front-end developer, creative designer. Okay. Yeah, so in fact, I need to create a jet. Then bring this guy here. Bring this guy. Bring this guy here. No. Drag this guy. Bring this guy here. And bring this guy here also. then I would, what I would do is I'll click on this guy, copy and paste the style here. It's actually difficult for me to actually begin to explain some of these decisions I am making, but I hope I will be able to explain that one in particular, what I just did right now. So I'll click on this guy, inner section, and add it in here. Then remove the first column, and this guy, the width should be 100%. Good. Then this guy should have this background color, this yellowish, greenish like background color. Then style, background color, come over here, accents. I hope you can see where I'm trying to get to with this now. Then margin minus pixels top. Then padding, I will do 1M. Then I can bring in social media icons, social icons, which I'll be editing. Style, official color, no, custom color, the primary color, let me see, no, that's not what I want. The primary color, I will actually make it accent, then secondary color with this guy. Amazing, isn't it? Awesome. Yeah. But then there is a problem. And here's the problem. This guy feels too long. So I will simply adjust this guy a little. Yeah. Then good. Good. Then so one quick thing I can do now is to change the text color, which is supposed to be blue actually. Site settings, global colors, text color is supposed to be blue. It's supposed to be this. Let me bring it 223 or so. 232. Copy. 232. 232. Anybody who sees this video up to this point, and I don't mean if the person is online right now, like you're an OG, I salute you. Thank you for believing in me. When I blow, I'll remember you too. God bless you. I salute you. You can drop a comment in the comment section. Yeah. Thank you very much. So I just made that update. Yeah, good. So one last thing I want to do is to adjust the width of our H1 typography. So instead of using 10 viewport width, I'm going to use 9. 9. So that it doesn't jump to 2 lines. Let me see. It's still jumping to 2 lines. That means we'll use 8.5. Let me try. Let's try 8.5. Let's try 8.5 and let's see what that gives us. It's still jumping. Why? Why are you jumping and jumping and jumping? Let's try 8. Okay, so it seems there must be something wrong somewhere. Let's try let me check my custom CSS. Custom CSS. Okay, I didn't set font sizes. Then H1. Okay, let me see. Let me go back. Let me leave here. So what I want to do right now is actually to reuse this particular section. So that's why I'm trying to ensure that. So since it's very similar to this section is actually very similar to this. So it does not make sense for me to start coding this or rebuilding this from scratch. What I can simply do is just like duplicate, like you've seen me do before. And that's what I want to ensure that I'm doing or I do. Network is the reason why all these tiles are not loading. But I just want to check something. Oh, boxed. I see. So this guy needs to be full width. That's why it has been jumping. Good. It has been boxed all this while. So update. I would update now and refresh. And refresh. So it seems two people are online. God bless you. I love you. I love you for being online. God bless you. I don't love you. I love you. Yo. Yeah. So all styles have been restored. You can see this looks beautiful. This is awesome. This is amazing. So you've seen the way we created this section. So there's no point in going over this again. So I will simply just go over this section and hopefully I'm able to cover the footer also. And that will be the end of this live stream. I want to appreciate everybody that actually made it to this live stream. Don't let me do vote of thanks here. So let's finish at the very least. So how many? So yeah, just one column. One column. The background should be the greenish stuff. The background should bring an H1 in here. Text align center. Then register to attend. Inspect content. Register to attend. Then padding. Padding top and bottom. This looks big at the moment. We are just, it has to be on the global scope. Padding top and bottom is, let's just do two. Top and two. Then the next thing I'm going to do is drag in a form widget. Good. So the interesting thing about working, so I will also make global adjustments to it. But first, what I'm going to do is make this guy 50%. So that it looks exactly like what we have here, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then this guy also would be 50%. Then I would go ahead and duplicate these two guys. Good. Then yeah, awesome. The last thing, maybe not the last thing. The next thing I want to do is adjust the width of these two. Let's say, was it 700 pixels we resorted to? No, it's not. So I'll deal with that later, really. And then the submit button. I don't want the submit button to fill the old guy. So instead of justify, I'll simply do left, and we can style this guy later. So the next thing I want to do is to apply global styles to this guy. So obviously there are rounded edges, the padding doesn't feel right, spacing and all of that. Let me quickly fix the spacing. That's basically row gaps and column gaps. So row gaps, we have something like this. Yeah. So then site settings. This live stream might end anytime from now, maybe. So form fields, border radius 0 pixels, outline none, which is border none, but I can still see an outline here now. Typography, typography, the label of the typography should be medium, I think. Weight is 500, so that's medium. and the font size is 21 pixels. That's 18 pixels over here. So 21 pixels. No, that's 18 pixels. I thought we agreed. 18 pixels. And the font weight is 500. 500. Yeah. And what else? The padding, let's do M. Let's do 1 or 0.75 EM. Awesome. What else? The label should be blue. This weight is not showing up. Let's just, okay, I think I may have to adjust it manually, then update. Okay, this looks pretty messed up at the moment. Let me quickly adjust the overall typography for this guy. Typography H2. So I'm taking this guy to 52 pixels or even 48. It just looks too big at the moment. Okay, yeah, I think this looks better. This looks way better than what we had before. Then update. Then I'll go to the form itself. So on PC, this website will look like a rock star, obviously, but I think so. So, sorry. No. I'm coming. So, this guy. Okay. That part has not been saved. So let's refresh then. The website doesn't look that bad on PC yet. Now, PC is running low. I'm sorry, I have to end this live session now. If I gain power in the middle of the night, I will continue or probably record as a part 2 and upload to this YouTube channel. Thanks a lot if you watched this session up to this point, and I hope to see you next time when I'm more organized and things are actually way better.